Hi, it's my second YouTube video and I am sad, mostly because of the recent events that have been happening in my life and new chapters opening up. But I'll be real, I am sad because of regrets that I have in life. Also, that I feel like a failure. I feel like I can't do anything right in life. I am also worried and anxious about life and what will happen next. I am in second year college and I know I have a life ahead of me and I have bad thoughts of that and just giving up. Earlier, I cried. It was surprising because I usually don't cry, and when I do, I tend to get sad and I try to cry, but it really doesn't want to come out. But earlier it hit me out of nowhere and I had a good cry after a very long time of not being able to cry. I know I shouldn't think about these things like death or suicide and even being worried or sad, as I am a follower of the Lord Jesus Christ. I am a born again Christian and I really shouldn't have these thoughts, but they are unavoidable right now, and I know believing in God won't really let me be exempted of feeling sad. And I do eventually get in deep sorrow wherein I have a loss of hope. And I know that Jesus is my hope, but the fear overcomes me and I am a coward and I am hiding. Earlier I was lying down on the floor in complete darkness and I have had terrible thoughts and it is as if I'm almost giving up in everything, and then I started crying and I got up and sat down, opened Minecraft, and here we are now. I want to talk about my brother. I want to talk about my brother right now. He was the one to introduce me into gaming, my brother, and specifically into computer gaming. When I was a kid, he would install games on my PlayStation Portable or PSP that he also gave to me as a gift, and that's when I fell in love in playing video games. He introduced me to computers and he helped build my first computer, and my sister was the one to buy the parts and they built it for me, and I am forever grateful for them. He has two kids that are still in school, and one is in daycare and the other is in senior high. Sadly, him and my mom had a bit of a fight or conflict, and they distanced both of themselves for over 2 to 3 years because of some dumb reason, and they reunited a week before my brother had passed away. I am glad that we still had a reunion and they hugged and cried for some time. And this was the thing that I have been praying for, a reunion, but I didn't realize that it would be a reunion that would be him in a hospital bed in pain. He couldn't do anything, let alone walk. It hurts him when he just wants to turn his head around. And I stayed with him until his last night because we didn't know at the time that he would die. We were confident he would make it out and heal, but later on we realized it was more serious than that because he has had multiple organ failures and the doctors couldn't do anything or even tell us what was wrong in his body. I am glad to have met my brother for one last time, We used to play a lot of games together like Counter-Strike, PUBG, and a bit of GTA 5 with his, son. And my nephew, I really hope my brother accepted Jesus Christ that night before it was too late. My nephew and little niece, who had just lost their father, and my brother's wife are extremely devastated, and also me and my family. My mom had big regrets, and us as well, and we were grieving that time. I even taught my nephew how to drive a motorcycle, if that information matters, and we have been having good chats after my brother's or his father's death. But he has now completely ghosted me and won't respond to my text. But I hope he's fine. It really hasn't hit me about my brother's death until now again. Sure, I cried like a baby when he was put in the intensive care unit, or ICU, if you want to call it that. And when I was there, I heard a flat line. And all of a sudden, I lost my hearing, and it just started ringing all over the place. I always thought I could humor it out to my friends that I have a deceased brother, but he was not just my brother. He was a really good brother and a really good friend to me. I also have had two childhood friends, and we used to play a lot of games together. And one would come to my house every day, and I would wake him up. Or no, it was the other way around. I would wake up and he was there sitting at the side of my bed, wanting to play outside or on the phone. And he didn't even need my parents' permission to come inside the house. He just did so. He's a really good friend, and I've known him for 13 years, and lately for a few years we haven't talked much, and probably because of the businesses in school, or just school. And I got busy as well. So much in school, and I got fed up. That's probably why I feel really sad, but it's okay. I understand he gets busy, and it's not what it was like. It's not what it was like used to. I also had this other friend I've known since 2017, and his mother would spoil us, and they would get me a ticket to a water park, and it was fun. And a lot of other stuff. I consider those two guys both my friends. Not just friends, but both my best friends. But we all barely talk and play now. We don't play anymore or talk anymore or have communication. And I don't know what happened to us really. I but I have a really good friend right now, and he is the only friend I have, and he's fun to be with. But hey, it's okay to have only one friend that stays. You know, than a lot of friends who don't care about you. Man, this old Minecraft is so nostalgic, but I guess it's not an older buggy version of Minecraft that I missed. It was me being happy. I also want to talk about another thing. I have a girl who I really like, and right now we aren't okay, and she's amazing and all that. But maybe it is my fault that we aren't okay, and we are still in that waiting season since we aren't truly ready for a relationship, but I hope we get better soon. I really miss my old self. My old well, my old self who was disciplined and I used to exercise and go to the gym, lift some weights and even do some body weight exercises. I miss that. I hate that I have lost being productive and now I always just procrastinate and I hate myself for just feeling like a failure. I am also very disappointed in me that whenever I promise something to be better, I just don't do it and I break that promise. When my brother was still in the hospital, I promised to be better for him and actually do an effort because nowadays I don't put much effort into things and I hate that. I even told my brother once that I would coach him to like a physical therapy kind of thing, but that didn't happen. So, yeah. I know he would have wanted to be in my shoes and do things, be able to do things, and here I am wasting the opportunities that I have and having an abled body. And I realize now that just as I am talking that I must not give up and I must always try and keep going. Failing, you can just keep going and keep trying, but when you actually give up, that's where you lose. So I pray and hope that I get better in the future and in all aspects of my life. And I don't know if anyone is even watching this video of me just playing Minecraft and talking about my life. And it obviously won't matter to someone watching, but I hope if someone watched that you enjoyed it, you enjoyed tuning in, and I'll probably upload when I feel like doing so. So I'll see you all again. Bye bye. I also wanted to add that, you know, being second year in college, my parents really have high hopes for me, and you know, like later on in the future, I would be able to provide for the whole family. But right now, I just feel like I want to give up and I just want to lay down and do nothing. But here I am, sitting down and talking about this. So I think that is a good sign that I am here still, making a video that no one is probably even gonna watch. But yeah, I hope I hope to not give up and lose in life. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you once again.